We're now joined live on the line from Johannesburg by political analyst Gary Van Staden to give us some perspective on the political developments in Zambia. Gary, thank you very much for joining us. Good evening to you. How appropriate is Christine Kaseba's bid to succeed her husband, Michael Sata? One would think she would still be in mourning and not thinking about that at the moment.
Yes, I would think. First of all, good evening and good evening to your listeners, viewers. I think that's right. I don't think there's any clear thought going on here. I think that the Sata family, nephews, sons, wives, etc. I mean, it's starting to look like a bit of a family circus. So, but neither, I don't think there's any real prospect of any of those people being elected. I think that that Edgar Lungu has probably got the nomination wrapped up. I know there's some debate about whether the Patriotic Front Central Committee can nominate him, or whether he has to go to an elective conference. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I think there's enough support to make Edgar Lungu the next president of Zambia.
I mean, you mentioned the fact that there's really no prospects of any of Michael Sata's family actually being elected. So why bother? Surely they themselves would have some knowledge of this.
You would have thought so. I just think sometimes people get badly advised and they say, well, listen, there's a bun fight in the Patriotic Front. Perhaps we need someone with a name to bring some stability to the situation. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's input that we're not aware of. But I would have thought that, if they have a sound, careful look at their prospects, they would have understood that really they don't stand much of a chance. But I mean, it's an open race. I mean, and there's probably another 10 names in the hat we haven't even heard about yet. So it's going to take some time for this all to filter through to one candidate. And there is a possibility even that the Patriotic Front may field two candidates. I mean, we're not sure what's going to happen with that.
And I'm sure you've been asked this question before. I mean, it's a question that is posed to most political analysts and commentators. But really, how do you see Zambia's political landscape sort of changing now?
I don't think it will change much. I think that if you have a look at the serious contenders, the main candidates, Mr. Lungu being one, Chikamalanga being another, the finance minister, the defense minister, whoever else is in there, I think that, none of them are going to make significant changes to the way Zambia is run. There won't be any significant changes to economic policy. So I think that what Zambia is going through is a bit of short-term political upheaval, but I certainly don't think it's instability, and I certainly don't think that in the long term we're going to see any fundamental change in the way that Zambia is run. I think the Patriotic Front is going to win the election relatively easily. And after that, it's just going to be a case of back to... In fact, I think we may see a slight improvement in the way Zambia is governed because, to be frank, the late President Michael Sata sometimes made some decisions that were not entirely rational.